So yeah, I'll make sure I send this information to you all, just to give you, a list of different elements that you can use and play with in creating your designs. So before I get started with creating the obituary for tonight, what I want to encourage people to do, and I'm just going to ask a question. I want in this class, I want a little bit feedback because I want to make sure that we're all clear as far as what our intentions are, what our goals are as it relates to our designs, because it's one thing to create designs and it's another thing to make some money. We're not doing this for our health. I know my son is an adult, but I got bills to pay. And I want to make sure that I'm doing the necessary things to make sure that I'm consistently generating revenue. So a lot of times I don't think we look at it that far out, but you want to have like what your daily revenue goal is, what your weekly, what your monthly revenue goal is, what your quarterly annual. So when you put that in perspective, then that determines what legwork you put out there when it comes down to making sure that you're meeting your goals. So it's not enough to just say, hey, I'm going to design this or I want to put this together. It's the intent is to put these designs together with ultimately being able to generate revenue. That's the bottom line. We want to, in the process of doing what we do, we want to make sure that we're helping people, providing a service that's beneficial, but we definitely want to make sure we're making some money because nobody has time to be just designing for our health. And then also just, it's great to be inside of these groups. I personally appreciate being able to share some of the designs that I make, but at the end of the day, you want to get in front of people who's paying. A lot of these groups, everybody's kind of still, everybody's designing and things like that. So those are not going to be ultimately your potential customers at the end of the day, not as it relates to designing because they're designing too. You want to get in front of an audience who wants what you're creating at the end of the day. So, for example, when we're creating like memorial designs, you want to get in front of funeral homes. You want to get in front of event planners, churches, hospice care, families who lose a loved one. You want to get in front of those people. Like they have like a lot of these funeral homes have online platforms. You want to be able to make the connections with the right people to ensure that you're going to be able to take the talent or the work that you're doing and generate revenue from them. So those are some things you want to keep in mind when it comes down to designing. And that's just say for the memorial standpoint. Just say if you're into helping, like I do event planning. Ultimately I get in front of people who are having baby showers, somebody groups that are, of moms or whatever. I try to get in front of people who I know is going to need my services because everybody that's in these Canva groups, they're creating too. Unless you're teaching something, they're designing just like you. So you're not going to be making money off in that group. That's just a great community to be in to help and learn more of what you're doing. So we want to get into a headspace of connecting with the right people to help us make money. Everybody on board with me on that one?
Amen.
Okay, so that's what we want to do. I said that when I got in this class today, I said we need to talk about making money because it is not okay to just keep creating and creating and really not making doing what we ultimately want to do at the end of the day, which is generate revenue. So keep those things in the forefront and in the back of your mind as we're creating and making different things. Have a goal set, like at the beginning of the week, have a goal set of how many clients you want to get in front of, how much money you want to make per day, per week, per month, per quarter, per year. Have that in mind because then you'll have something that you're going to be working towards. So with that being said, we want to get into creating this obituary. I want to try to get to I want to try to do the insert as well. So I'm gonna see how much time we get. But either way, I'll provide a video for you. So this one, as I said before, because it's going to be 11 by 17, the measurement's going to always be 17.25 and 11.25 because that's you want to make sure that we have the bleed space and then also have that wiggle room for your margin so you can make sure that when you send it off to publishing that you Everything, the edges, everything's lined like it's supposed to be. Did everybody get from the last class? Did you get the price list?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So my suggestion, you are creators. You don't want to wear yourself out with creating and printing. Unless you got a really good printer, don't waste your time. Make sure that you get, and the pricing in there for printing can fluctuate. Find a place that you can go to consistently. Find out what their pricing is. So when you charge for your services, you know how much to charge for whatever it is. Let them do that heavy work. You focus on creating the best imaginable design, and then you partner up with or work specifically with a publishing or printing company, and then let them do all that cutting and snipping and all that other stuff. Leave that to them.
What's the width and the height?
So it's the 17 and a half. I'm sorry, 17.25 by 11.25. So I'm gonna actually close this one out. We're gonna start from scratch. Let me move this out of my way because I want to be able to see everything. So you're gonna do in the left hand corner, you're gonna do create. And then you want to customize your design. And then, as I mentioned before, you want to make sure that it's inches, not pixels. And in the width, you want 17.25 by 11.25. And that, again, makes sure that it allows you to make sure you have that extra bleed space. So when it's printed, it goes to the edge and you get all of your design inside of the, when it's printed and cut up. Okay, so that's the size for like our legal. Let me get out there. That's the legal paper. And then, as I mentioned before as well, you want to always you want to make sure that your bleed space is there and your margins in the rulers. So you want to go to File, and where it says Settings, you want to click on it says Show Rulers and Guides. You want that. So and that means you should see the rulers on the left hand side and also across the top. And then you want to go back into your files, click on Settings again, and then you want to show your print. You want to show the print bleed, and that gives that extra space so that when they're cutting, it doesn't mess with any of your design. Anything outside of this edge that it could be blank space, but that means as long as everything is inside that line, that's what, once they print it, that's what you'll get for the obituary. Now, what I'm thinking I want to do today, the color I want to work with is purple and silver. I'm gonna see what come out from there. And I want to do something, we'll just say somebody that does music. I'm gonna try. Okay. Yep, I sure can. Absolutely. So I'm gonna do that once again. Let me close that out. And then let me close this one out. So you want to go to Create on the left-hand side, Customize, because you want it to be a custom size. And then again, make sure it says inches and not pixels. So you want to change it so it says inches. The width is going to be 17.25 and the height is going to be 11.25. And then click on Create New. Now, because previously I set the margin and the bleed space, it'll automatically do that again. But you want to go into your files and click on Settings to make sure that your ruler and your guides are displayed, as well as the print bleed space.
Where is files located on the app?
On the app, are you on your computer or?
I'm on my phone.
Now the phone is gonna be a little bit different, but let me pull out my phone. Let me see here. Because I actually do a lot of my designs on my phone sometimes, but when it comes to this, I don't. But give me a second, I can show you. I can tell you. Canva. Come on. Okay, so on the left-hand side of your phone, there is this like a 3-bar thing on the top left-hand corner. Now, were you able to open it up yet, or are you actually open? You already have it open?
No, I done did the margin and stuff. I did the 17 thing, but I don't see where it say files and design all that.
Now, I will tell you, it will look a little different. So let me just quick open up a file here. Custom size, 11 by 17. Okay, close it out. Okay, so on your phone, it's gonna be a little different. So you may
I think I
want
see it is at the bottom of the screen. You have to press the X and then you can see them at the bottom of the screen.
so at the bottom of the screen, it has like your elements, design, and thing like that. But if you go to the top of the phone, are you using an Android or
iPhone.
Okay, so on the top, you'll see it has these 3 dots in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
If you click on that, it'll scroll up and you'll see where it says settings.
Oh yeah.
So that's where that is on the phone. It may be a little different, honestly, on the phone. I usually recommend it for anybody and everybody can to focus on a computer, because the phone situation might be a little different. So this time I think I want to do one with a male who plays music. I'm gonna try, we're gonna go that route tonight and see what we can come up with. So we're gonna go to elements. Again, this is where I mentioned before, like you want to get familiar with, if you don't get familiar with nothing else on here, your elements is gonna be layers, and elements is gonna be your key. The layers because you want it all positioned the right way, and elements is because it makes your design pop out a lot. It looks great once you get familiar with it. So I'll use, for example, I like the leather texture. I try that a lot. So this is what you get when you're looking at leather textures. And you can use that for a lot of different things. Like I really do, I like the leather texture. When it comes down to design, I'll just say I'll click on there and click on there and just kind of give you some ideas. This one I like. I'm almost tempted to change the color I was gonna go with, but I'm not gonna. Let's see something here. Let me see. I'm gonna try. Let me see if there's such thing as purple leather. And it is. Oh well, we're gonna try that then. That's what we're doing today. Let me see what I like this kind of for some. I'm going with this. Cool. But do you see what I'm saying when it comes down to the textures or the different elements? A lot of the different elements, if you play around with it, you can do some things with it. Like set this as the background. I like that, but I'm not gonna use it for this. But yeah, attach. I'm gonna delete that because I don't want it. I'm gonna actually work with this, I believe, tonight. Oh, I got an idea. We're gonna go with Prince tonight. Is that all right? We're gonna try something a little different. So this is the texture I'm going with tonight is the purple and silver. This is what we're gonna do tonight. So again, all I did was I went to my elements and I put purple leather texture. You can try whatever texture you want, but that's what I'm gonna go with tonight is the purple leather texture. But play up in those elements as much as you can. So what I want to do is I want to make this image my background. That's gonna be my foundation of this design. So you take the image that comes up and you want to right click on it. And then you want to set this image as your background. And so it's going to fully cover the entire design of this of the obituary. One of the things that I should have mentioned earlier is when you want to go scroll over from the left and drag this margin over to the center, because you want to stay focused on where you're supposed to center everything. When it changes colors, you'll know you're in the center of the design, because you see it's blue, and when it gets right in the center, it changes to like a pink color. So you'll know that that's the center focus of your design layout. All right, so we're gonna go with the purple. Another element I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create, let me take this out. I wanna use a black shape on here because I wanna just kind of change the tone of it just a little bit. I'm going to change this to black. There we go. Now, when it comes down to shapes, I'm just going to do, so you click on element, and when you see the shapes, you can do click all shapes so you can see what type of different shapes are listed inside here. There's a lot more, but these are like the basics. But when you go in and look for shapes, this is what I typically use when I want to kind of do like an overtone. So again, this right here, I'm going to make this pretty much the same size as the background image here. I'm going to drag this over because I want to tone the purple down just a little bit. And then over here where it says transparency, this is how I'm going to be able to tone it, like tone it down and lighten it up, kind of give it some opacity. I'm going to lighten it up here, just drag it until the tone changes just a little bit because I don't want it to be just fully purple. I want it to have a little tone to it. So I'm going to set it at 48. I might change it up a little bit, but that's what I have it at for right now. Because I want this to be a whole print situation, I'm going to take some images from this. Let me see, prints. I'm going to Google some Prince images because that's what we're doing today. He looked a little interesting on some of these. So, I like this one. Yeah, I like this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go where it says uploads. I'm going to click on that so I have that already open. So when I go back to this space here, I'm going to drag this image over into Canva and place it inside here. I want another picture too. So we're definitely finna do this. I'm gonna drag this one over here. So just hold it down and drag it. When you see the image, just let me close that. Whatever image you want to use, you just click on it, hold it down, hold the mouse down, and then drag it over to the tab where you're using for your design. I think I want to find, because we're gonna work this out today. I think I'm gonna go with this one too. Okay. Nice. I might grab another one, but this is what we're gonna work with from right now. So the other thing I want to look for is a guitar. If I can get a nice image of a guitar. Photos. Try purple. Purple guitar. See what I can come up with here. I might not be lucky enough to do that, but we sure gonna try it. Okay. So I might have to play around with it for a little bit, but I'm gonna find a purple guitar either way. So what I want to do is the images that I have right now, I'm going to take these images because I want to have that at the forefront of the in the center over here to the right. So I'm going to click on this one. Because I don't want the background in there, I really don't like that in there either. Let me take this one out. Yeah, I'll use this one. So I want to take the background out so I can just have his picture. Let me see, background remover. And you see how it just takes off it just leaves his image there. All right, so I'm gonna put his other image. I'm gonna remove the background from that one as well. So it says BG remover. That's what you want to use to take the background away. So it's that one. I didn't want to use that. And I think I need another Prince picture. I need another one. We're gonna do this because I need to get that thing. I need that image. I need it. Yikes. Okay. Did it not come over? It did not. There we go. Awesome. I need that sign, that symbol, and I just need one more image of him. I think the one I need is him facing forward. Oh, that look crazy. Give me 1 second. I just need to find a picture that's gonna work for me today. Um, all right, I'll play with what I got right now. So it's about as forward, I think. I don't think it pops out enough for me. It's too blurry. And it got the logo. This I want because I need that sign. So that's the same thing. Oops, I give, okay, plan B. I need that whole sign. It may not work for me. Yep, that's not gonna work. I'll still use the image some kind of way. All right, so with this image, remember if you can recall what we did with some of these images before is we took and just kind of faded it from the back, from the bottom. So what we use is that it's called the image blend, and that allows you to take and just kind of modify the um, some of the portions of that image. So in order to do that, you go to where it says apps on, I'm not sure where it's located on the phone, but you click on apps here and just do image blender, I'm sorry, image blender. And then it gives you several options, but what you want is actually the image blender because you want to be able to take and modify the look of the bottom of these images. So where it says, the one I typically use is linear because it allows me to take and move. Do you see where it fades it out? It takes me to go, allows me to do that, to make those kind of changes on the image. So you can do it, you can turn it in circles if you want to, but it just allows you to make those necessary fade out display for the image. Mm. All right, so I want to be able to use this one. So when you fade it the way you want to, then you save it and it allows that change to take to display on that particular image. And same thing with the rest of them. I don't know why it makes me click back and forth, but okay. So same thing for this one. You just pull it up and down, just pull the arrow up and down and fade it out as much as you would like. And then make sure you save it. So the one in the center is going to be like the main focus image. So that one's obviously going to be a lot bigger than the other images. So you want to make sure that you just kind of make the adjustments so the images are there, but they're not as overwhelming as the main image in the center. And I'm going to change the layer of that so that one is at the front. I don't want to use this one here. So let me just see what other ones I'm working with here. I'm going to go back to upload. And let me see what image I want to use. That one's here. Mm, mm, mm. I want to use that for something else, but I'm going to go ahead and remove the background because I'm definitely going to use it. I'll put that over here on the side. I feel like I need another one. Need one more picture. This is gonna have to do the trick. So again, you just click on the image and then drop it in. And then background remover. Awesome. I'll move it over just a little bit. And then I'm gonna fade this one out as well, just so it's faded from the bottom. So you wanna just go to the apps, image blender, which should be there because it was more recently used. There we go. And then I'll fade it out. All right. And so again, this one in the center is the one we want to pop out more than the other one. So I'm gonna make this one just a little bit bigger. And so in order to make sure that that particular image is really the focus point, we wanna go to where it says position because we wanna change the location, the where that one's the layer of that particular image. So you click on position. This one, you can make it go forward, backwards, or, send it wherever you want it to go. But I typically go to layers because I know exactly where I want this image to be. And I just click on the image right within itself and I just move it all the way up because I want that one to be in the forefront. And just click and drag. So that one comes out on the top. And then I can do whatever I want to do with the rest of them and move them around as I need to. I want to bring it down a little bit because it's just a little extra space that I don't need. Make it a little smaller, but then the other ones have to be smaller as well because I don't want it to overlap or too much. There we go. And you just move it around just so that it's to your liking. I'm definitely gonna make this one bigger because I need him to stand out more. So let me see. I don't see how this one's working for me. So I'm gonna change this up a little bit. There we go. I'll just use that image just because the other one doesn't quite blend in, only because the coloring isn't quite what I need it to be. I'm gonna try and see if I can share. There we go. Okay. So I just changed that color. So what I did was, you see the coloring at the top with images, you have the ability to go ahead and change the color. So that purple works a whole lot better than the other one did earlier. So you just go in and you can use one of the images. The cool thing is it gives you photo colors based on what's on there. So you can kind of pick and choose from the different options that are listed on the left-hand side. So I'm definitely going to use this one.
Yolanda,
Yes.
Can you show us how you went about changing the color again?
Absolutely. So I'm going to change it back to the original color. So with the images, if you notice, when I click on each one of the images, it shows the color up here based on what so when you do is I clicked on this image and these are the two colors that it's displaying. Obviously this must be maybe the skin tone, and then this is the color supposedly of his clothes. So then you just click on this one, click on that purple, and then it go over to the left. It'll show you on the left-hand side, and you can just click on the different colors and change it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You are welcome. But I'm gonna set him over there because I'm gonna use him for another purpose. All right. All righty. So I'm gonna leave that sitting there right there. So that's where I'm just gonna keep them sitting to my right. And then I'm gonna go ahead and then start to, first of all, what is Prince full name? Because I know it, but I don't. Prince Roger Nelson, that's what it was. Okay. Prince Roger Nelson. I'm gonna put that right there because I know I ain't gonna remember that. So we're gonna put Mr. Nelson's name on here. I'm gonna change the design. I just want to put it on here. I just want to put what's needed for his name. over here, and then I'll work with it a little bit later. So when it comes to text or fonts, we obviously have the fonts that are listed in the text. When we click on here, we have what's listed, but you are also capable of changing it to different fonts, because sometimes what they have listed in the fonts may not necessarily be what you want to use. So there's a platform that I use that's called DAFont.com. And it gives you like some different options of fonts and different things like that that are absolutely free. So you can go in here and look at different fonts and just kind of play around with it. But you can also take those fonts and use them inside of Canva. So you don't have to, you're not restricted to just what's inside of Canva. You can play around with different other fonts. And the way you do this, there's different categories from, again, that's DAFont.com. So there are different categories: fancy, foreign look, techno, gothic, basic, scripts, holiday fonts. So I'll just click on different ones so you can kind of see. So this one is fancy, and it has a different fonts you can use. Foreign, different fonts. I think I want to use Roman here. So I'm going to put Roger. I think his name was Roger. Was that his name? Roger? Yeah, Prince Rogers Nelson. I'm just going to put Prince. And just because, so what it would look like, it'll show you what it would look, you know, what the name would look like when, if you were to use that particular font. Let me see. Script. What would his name look like if it was in scripts? I like this one right here. Blank. So it's called blank script. So what I'm going to do is over here, it says download. I'm going to download this font because that's the font I want to use for his name. When I click on, it'll download into your, it'll go into your downloads. But when it does, you just go to that particular folder and you want to extract it because you want to get access to the original font in Canva. So you click on the folder, it's in a zip file, you go to extract all, so that when you go back in there for in Canva, you'll see, so the name of it is blank script. So I just want to keep that in mind so I don't forget. I'm gonna go back to here. And so when you go to a font, when you go to the fonts, it gives you all of the ones that are listed here. But again, you do have the ability where you see on the bottom where it says upload a font. You can click on there and you can upload fonts from your computer that you have downloaded from that website. So the one that that I downloaded, it was called Blank Script. So if you click on that and select open, it'll ask you, please confirm the following. If you want to upload it, you say yes, upload. And that's how you can take and add on. There's so many fonts in there, so you can go and just whatever you see that you like, you can download it. So you will always have it have access to it in Canva. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take his first name and I'm going to change his first name to that font. That's what I want to do. Roger Nelson is his real name, but we're going to take the one that says uploaded fonts, and I believe it was blank scripts. So here, this is what we're going to do. Paste. I'm just making it big enough so I can see it. And I'm going to change it to where it says blank script. I kind of like it and I kind of don't. Let me see. But we're going to go with that today. We're going to go with this font because it's probably as close as I'm going to get to what his name would look like. So we're going to do Prince in that font. And then Roger Nelson, I'm going to see which one goes pretty well with his name. I think I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit. There you go. And then I'm going to use maybe a font that I already utilize that's in here. I'm going to keep that one. So you don't want something, what you want to keep is the balance. So if you use one in like a script, you want to have the other one in kind of a more basic to kind of keep it from being too overwhelming. So I'm going to find one that's a little bit more basic so it's not, you know, too much. Let me see, where is this one? There's one in particular I use a lot. Um, mm, mm, mm. I'll find it. There we go. Senzel. I always use that one a lot. So Senzel is the one I use a lot. So that's the one I'm going to use for his other part of his name. And then the Prince name is going to be the one that we just have that stands out. If you want to try to make it pop just a little bit more, you may want to go to effects. And I'll try a shadow and see how that looks on his name, just to kind of see how that works out. It does make it stand out a little bit. So you just go to effects. You can choose and play with any of the effects that you want. So just go into click on effects and it'll give you different effects that you can, you know, can play around with. I'm pretty much okay with the shadow. I think I'm gonna stick to the shadow. And then in most cases, I always click on black just because it kind of makes it pop out a little bit more. But then let's see here. All right. And so let me see here. So next at the top, I want to do the celebration of life. All right, so we'll do celebration of life. We'll put that at the top. And I'm gonna do life in this same font just because I kind of don't like that. Hold on. Might change it to a different one here. Nope, it's the same thing. If I can angle that L around, there we go. All right. So I'm gonna blend it so I can move them both around. So if you want to move, just say if you have one that you and you want to move a group around, so you just click your shift button down and then click on the next thing, the other item that you want to move as well, and you can move them both together. I want to bring this down just a little bit and make it just a little smaller, just so it can kind of fit in. Okay. And for whatever reason, I feel like I need to change this blend just to give a little bit more. So I got to go to my apps and I'm going to go back to my image blender. There you go. Need to move them out a little bit because I don't know where my arrow thing is to change this. I'm sorry. I want to cancel that because I want to blend him a little bit more. Okay, for whatever reason, it's giving me a hard time. So I'm gonna put it back the way I had it until I can figure that out. I'll come back around to that. Okay, so similar to my last class, because we use so much of this information, I put it on a document so we can copy and paste. So we're gonna have at let me grab the bottom information. So this is gonna be like where the service is held, the church, and all of that. I literally just, since I use it so often in the classes, I just have it in the notes. And then if you're working along with me, I'm gonna put it in the chat so you can just kind of do the same thing, or you can change it to whatever you want it to be. I'm just gonna post it in here. There we go. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll just copy and paste it in the bottom. All right, text. Let's see, right click and paste. There we go. And obviously you want to make it just a little bigger. And then October, so Memorial Church, just a fake church location. And then I'm gonna change this. It has the person who's gonna be officiating it. I'm just gonna change it because I want his font to be just a little different. And then I'm gonna copy and paste the name. And I almost wanna be a little extra here and try and see what his name would look like as the same font. Again, you can be creative and do, whatever font you want to. I don't really want to do that because it doesn't look, it's just a lot going on. Okay. Decided to change it up and make it a little less complicated. All right. And so when we're doing this, we're just kind of setting the tone and creating the foundation of this image. And then we can just add on as we go along to kind of make it pop out a little bit. So in this case, I'm going to use this image here, but I'm going to fade him out and change the opacity. So to just kind of, he'll be there, but it'll be a little bit faded, a little bit. Actually, I'm going to take him out. I'm going to use him for something else a little bit later. I think this one's just fine. Yeah, I'm going to have him kind of like at the edge. So only thing that's going to be cut out when they actually do the print is just going to cut out right along this border here, but everything else will be inside of the obituary as far as this picture is concerned. So we want to here put like the acknowledgments and things like that. But before I do that, I'm going to put on a gradient, kind of upper and lower portion of this, just so it can kind of allow the wording to stand out. So as you are creating and designing and using different elements, you want to take it, if you use it kind of frequently, you want to take it and place it in folders so it's easy to find. Because you just imagine if you're creating something and there's an element or something that you used before that you want to use again, and you got to try to figure out what the name of it was or try to figure out where to locate it. When you find elements that you really like, take those, and I'll quick show you how to put them inside of a folder. So it just makes it really easy for you to go and grab it the next time. So what I want to do is a gradient black. I'm going to go back to the one I have because I put it in the folder already. Let me see here. Here's my folders. Gradients. I put it in a gradient folder. So the one I'm going to use, let me see if that's the one. Okay, it's going to be the second one. It's called Black Shadow on Transparent. So what you would do, it's already in a folder, but when you click on those three dots, you can click on where it says move to folder. If you haven't already created a folder, go to the bottom and click on create new and just name that folder whatever you want to. I'm just going to create another one. Gradient, I'll just say gradient styles. And then you want to click move to folder. So then that way, whenever you need it, I'm going to undo that. whenever you need it, you don't have to go looking for it. You already have it, and you know, like in your gradient folder, what's in there. And you don't have to kind of search all over the place to just try to find it. So I'm gonna put this in the top, and I want it at the bottom so it can help the fonts kind of pop out a little bit. So I'm gonna click duplicate, and then I'm gonna flip it so it flips upside down. So I flipped it vertically. And I'm gonna tone it down some, I'm gonna do the opacity again. I'm gonna tone it down just some so it's not overbearing. Oops, I don't wanna animate that, to what's already in this design. So you can just change the opacity so it's not too much, but you can see where it kind of fades it a tad bit. And the same thing with the top. I'm gonna just change the opacity a little bit so it's not overbearing. So it takes it from completely, a little bit dark to tint to change it so it lightens it up. All right. Any questions while I'm doing this? Okay. So your best friend is going to be understanding the layers and the positions. So when I look at the overlap, this pretty much tells me where everything is located. It just kind of tells me how I have everything layered on the design. So for example, I have I'm going to bring down these gradients that I just did because I want to make sure that it's visible. What the wording is visible. Let's see here. And it still covers the images the way I need it to. So, but you want to keep your letters so the wording so it pops out. And then I'm going to, because I want to have some silver in here, I want to work with like the borders a little bit I'm going to do the acknowledgements and things like that. So I'm going to go into my elements. And then what I want to do is look for my frames. So these are all the frames. You can take these frames and it isn't, you can use whichever ones work best for you. I'm going to do the square frame because I need to make some borders. I'll make the frame the size that I want it to be because I'm going to make this so that I can do an overlap of an image. So, and I'm going to duplicate it because I want to make another one the same exact way. So duplicate, and then I'm going to drag it over a little bit because I want to put the verbiage inside there. I may make it a little smaller. So those frames allow you to take images and place them inside there. So it'll change the color of that frame to whatever color or whatever image that you want to use. And so I'm going to change the frame, and then I want to do like a border, like silver border. Say silver glitter. Let me try that and see here. Silver border. I'm just gonna say silver, and then whatever comes up. Yep, this is what I need right here. What does this look like? Nah, I don't want that. Let me see, what does that look like? That's too much. So all you're doing is dragging that image and hovering over the frame. And so it changes the frame to the image that you're working with. Let me see, I think I'm gonna use these two. Okay. And then I'm gonna change the position of this one because I want that to be behind his picture. Yeah. Yep, there you go. Because I still want his image to kind of be in front of that. And so in this area here is where we're gonna do like the acknowledgements, the active pallbearers, things like that. And I have it on Word documents. So I'm gonna copy and paste it inside the comments. Where did it go? And at some point, once you get used to it, you'll just know. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I thought I had it on this one. I'm gonna copy it, copy. I use it so often until I just have it on every every design. Let me move it up here and then I'll copy it inside there. So inside here is where you want to put the acknowledgements and everything right inside. I'll see if it'll let me copy and paste it inside here. Hopefully it does. Copy. Let's see what happens here. Oh no, I don't like the way it did that. Yeah, it's just doing, it's doing too much. So what you want to do is for like the acknowledgements, I use Trojan Pro and it's 13, the font size is 13. So and then I always use like the headers, I always use the same colors in the same size. So it's the acknowledgements, the active pallbearers, honorary pallbearers, funeral home, and then program design by. That's kind of my standard when it comes to putting that portion of it together. Is I usually use that as my layer, as my foundation. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. And then when I put, yes.
Can I ask a question in relation to the fonts? You mentioned previously that we use 2 to 3 fonts.
Yes, for the most part. If there's, I wouldn't go too much over that. But that's usually the recommendation to kind of say, so it's kind of not all over the place.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me just quick. I'm just making the adjustment because I want to make sure there's enough spacing here. And then if you haven't designed a logo, you may want to go ahead and do that. You can easily go inside of I don't know if any of you use like ideogram, but you can definitely easily make logos in AI. It literally you just kind of type in the idea that you have in mind, and it will pop out like really easily. It'll pop out a logo design for you. And how many of you any of you use AI at all for doing like artwork at all?
Trying to get into it.
Okay. I'm just gonna do a little snippet here. So this platform is called Ideogram AI. And let me see, what do I have here? I'm just gonna quick do, like, these are some of the things that I've created inside of this. And it's really like, all you gotta do is give it like the information and it will pop out some images for you. I'm not even kidding. What you want to do, yes, okay. What you want to do is be very, when you're utilizing AI, and that's kind of like that's part of my boot camp. When you're using AI, I'll give a little bit more details into that. But you want your best friend is going to be as descriptive as you possibly can be, because what you tell it to do, that is what it's going to produce. It's seriously, and it does provide, like, it puts out some of the best like designs and images like you can think of, and it's just based on you being very clear on what you're looking for. Let's see. I'm gonna try one really quick. Now what kind of, okay, so just somebody just randomly give me what's the name of your business?
Expressive Creations.
And that's just consists of like just creating designs and stuff like that?
It's a print and design company.
Okay. How are you spelling it out?
It's expressive, but with 2 X's.
Oh, okay.
And then Creations.
Is that spelled that way?
It's missing an S.
Oh, expressives. Am I doing something crazy?
SSIVE.
Oh,
Take the
gotcha.
S.
Create. Do you have a particular color scheme that you use?
Lime green and royal blue.
Okay. And a logo design for creations. The colors are lime green, and you said what was the other color?
Lime green and royal blue.
Okay. Blue. The text for express is our text are bold. The creations is below. Is displayed below. I'm trying to think here. Now, is that what all do you create? Just anything?
I create basically the advertising materials for businesses. So I also do custom stationery.
Okay. Include trying to think here how to be a little bit more specific. Should be artistic and color. And bold. Let me just see what it comes up with. And a lot of times when you're creating stuff, you may have to generate it a couple times to get the look that you're looking for. But just play like that's in my boot camp, but just like create.
Oh, wow.
Until you see what it is that you want, and it can easily create a logo for you really quick.
Oh, wow.
Yep. If you want these, I can send it to you.
I like that one on the end with the little paint stroke.
This one to the left, to the right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No problem. Let's see if it'll let me drop it in here. Yep. And you can just click download it. It'll you can just download it.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
I created my logo in ChatGPT.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. Okay. Anybody else want one real quick?
Yes, Nessie's Creations.
Leslie?
Nessie, Nessie. Nessies.
Okay. Any particular color?
Purple and silver.
Create this logo with bold fonts and business creativity. What comes out with that?
Is this a free app?
You do get so many of them free every day.
Okay.
Oh, I like the first one.
I guess it would have been nice if I had put the IO in. Let me try it again. Something like that.
Yeah, the first one.
So we're gonna put your logo on this obituary, and I'll send it to you, whichever one you like decide to go with.
Okay, the first one.
This one.
Oh, wait a minute. They're looking good, all of them. like.
Let me do another one. So just whatever one, then I like this one too though, but I forgot the eye. Dang
Yeah,
it.
that one's pretty. I
Ugh.
like that one too.
That was, oh man, I hate I did that, messed that one up.
Oh, that's pretty.
Which one? The one on the end?
Yes.
Okay. I'll send it to you, but I'm gonna put it on this thing too. Let me see here. So I'm gonna upload it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. But go in the ideogram and literally play with it. And just be, like I said, use as much description as you can and see what it gives you. So I'll just put your logo. This will be the logo here in there, and I'll send it to you really quick. Hold on. But those, like, if you don't have, like, there you go. If there's images that you may not have, then use these AI platforms to get the images you want. And I'm just gonna quick go into I'm back in here for those who may not. I know some of you already know how to access it. And it's spelling correctly. Is it okay? Oh, okay, got you. So for those who I may not, just say if we're creating, we're not using prints, but just say if you want to create a design and you need images, you want to, if you don't have images and you just want to create something as a layout so people can see your work, Canva utilizes AI images as well. So in order to start creating images with AI designs through Canva, you just go on to where it says app. And then I don't want to do this. I want to go out of the screen. Come on. Okay. No, you want to click on, I'm sorry, the top where it says open menu. You want to do that because what we're looking for is Canva AI. And just say we need to find an image of a man or whoever, but we need to create some images so we have some images to work with when we're creating. You go to Canva AI. You always want to select create an image. You want to create an image, and the style I always use either smart or portrait. We're gonna go with portrait today. And then I'm gonna say I'm looking for an image of a beautiful African American woman. She is wearing a silver and black satin dress. She has on silver earrings and necklace with a silver bracelet. Her shoes match her clothes. I love, love, love like dread, so I'm gonna make her have some. I love natural hair. Her hairstyle is natural with coily, natural dread is natural coily dreads. All right, let's see what they come up with. So again, my style I picked was portrait, and then usually I want to do a 9x16 size because I want that to be the size that like similar to these. But these are some of the images that I was able to create using Canva AI. I'm not really going to use this on here, but I'm going to just so you have an idea. So these are some of the images that came from here. And if I just want to use one, I'll just grab this one. And then I'll take that image and I'm going to use it. And I'm just going to pretend like I'm going to use it in the design. So when you want to go back to the design, here's the one that I'm working on right now is print. So I'm just going to click on that and it's going to go back to my design. And always refer back to this 3-tab thing because it's always going to either take you back to the design or take you back to the home screen. So I'm going to open up uploads. And then you can either go to your folder where it says downloads, or there's always an arrow up here where you can just download the image. And I'm gonna drag and drop it over into this, my uploads. And then if you need to use that image, there you go. So, go in there as well and practice making design, creating images. Just be as descriptive as you possibly can, in order to get the look that you're going for. As far as like, if you're creating, I don't care if you're creating a dog, you can just describe that dog, and whatever you're looking for, that's what it's going to pop out for you. So I'm just going to do a few more things. I'm not going to overpower this too much, but I'm going to put some silver. Just see here. Prints. Symbol. I want that symbol. I'm definitely going for this. I gotta put the symbol in there. Okay, so do I have this open? So click on uploads, and I'm gonna drag and drop this image in here because I'm definitely gonna use it. Oops. Okay, so I don't know where I'm gonna put this, but I'm definitely gonna use it. Okay, typically it'll let me change the color, so I'm gonna try something here because I need the color to change. I don't think it's gonna give me too many options, is it? Maybe. I think this is gonna be as close as I'm gonna get. So what I did was I clicked on edit at the top left, and then I clicked on filters. And filters will give you the option to, if this was in another color, it'll give you like all kinds of different other color options. But because it's a black image, you don't get that many. You'll probably get some that are closer to relevant to the images inside here. So I'm just gonna go with that. Let me see if I can change it up. Nope. I'm gonna stick with that because that's as close as I'm gonna get. Is that color? Okay. I'm gonna use this somewhere. I've got to figure out where I'm gonna use it at though. So I'm gonna sit it right there until I come back. So the other element I want to use is silver sparkles. Okay. I want to kind of make, really? What did I just do here? I want to make this pop out just a little bit behind him. Go back to my position because I want to change it. Again, you can just go backwards. You can do that, or you can just go to the layer and move it where you want it to go. To me, it's always easier for me just to go to that layer. I'm going to take this off for right now because I really am not going to do much with it. But I'm not too keen on this sparkle. Let me see. Okay, let's take this out. Really not kicking, like, it's not really doing what I want it to do. Nope. And that's why it's good to kind of get familiar with these elements so you can kind of play with them until you get the look that you're going for. Like that either. I'm gonna leave that there. There's a look I'm going for. I'll catch back up with that because I don't want to use too much time doing it. But there's a look I'm trying to go for, and I'm gonna find it. Okay, no. So I'm gonna come back to that because there's something else I need to put in that corner over there, and I'm gonna do that. But in the meantime, I'm going to come back to that. Yeah, I'll come back to it. So that's the front. That's the front of the layout. And then with the back, just to kind of keep yourself from having to do so much as far as like collecting, we're going to still use the same background. So all we want to do is take that and where it has the 3 bars there and duplicate this page. So we got the same exact thing, but then all I'm going to do is take the take that information out, and then I'm going to repurpose all this information on here. So I'm going to take probably most of this out because I'm going to repurpose everything. I just want to make sure I maintain the layout for the most part. Come on. All right, so I'm going to repurpose all of this. And then what I want over here, so this one's going to be like the order of service. You're going to have the like poems or reflections and things like that. So the only thing I think I'm going to really take out of this one here is, let me take this one image in particular. I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to put that over here because I want to make that, I'll make that here pretty nice size. And so once you get the hang of like what the look you're going for, then that's really where you can just start literally taking your designs and playing with it and just be as creative as you want to be with the layout of the obituary. There we go. So here so this is gonna be where I'm gonna take in, just for the sake of time, the same layout that I'm using for the other ones. And copy. So what I'm gonna do here is put the reflection. That'll kind of save us some time. So this is the reflections here. That's gonna go on the right-hand side. And then I'm gonna send you like the wording because I have it on the Word document since I use it so often. And you can always change it up if you like. But I'll include the text that I'm using in a lot of these obituary designs. So you can just kind of copy and paste as you're designing yourself. And that is going to be white. It doesn't have to be that size. I'm just trying to figure out where I can stick that symbol because that symbol's got to be in here somewhere. Maybe I can just put that there. Edit. And so I'm editing. I don't think it's gonna let me do too much in this space, but I'm gonna definitely put it in here. All right. And so then the order of service and all of that, I'm gonna put in this, and it's gonna be in here next. Okay. And like I said, I'll send it the Word document so it has all this information. Behind. There we go. And then I'm gonna take maybe one other picture and put it in here. Yeah. I'm I'm gonna flip it the other way and just put him in this corner. I think what I want to do some kind of way is take, I don't know, that symbol is not working too well for me, but I'm going to take his name and then I'm going to kind of play with it a little bit. Copy, paste, but I'm going to flip it. And again, this is just, you know, whatever's coming to mind. So like I said, and even while I'm designing this, if you're designing also, you can just take it. It does not have to be exactly what I'm doing. You can take it and just start doing, you know, at this point, you just become familiar with what your what you want your look to be. And then you just you design however you want it, that make it your own, like personalize it so that it's you. So I'm going to put his name right there and kind of set him in between. And okay, so yep, just moving this just a little bit. And I need to do some silver. That's why I'm kind of conflicted here. So that'll just be like the service. That's just kind of what the service would look like. And I'm forgetting. Yep, I got that on there. It's got to be something silver. Silver. Below. It's something silver I gotta find because this is bothering me. Sorry. Silver sparkles. Let me see. Graphics. This got to be. Nope. 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 This is. I end up with the same thing again. That's not working for me either. It's something that I'm just like, I just know I want to use. I just have to figure out what that thing is. And I literally could see. So I will tell you, like, it's whatever. When you're in the groove of designing, just, you know, just take that time out and just do, no, that didn't work. Just kind of play around with it and just make it what you want it to be. Until you get that look that you're going for. Like, seriously. Nah, I'm doing too much, but I'll find it. Trust me when I tell you. It's a look. I can't figure. I'm gonna find it, but I'm not gonna hold you guys while I do that. But I'm gonna play around with this thing while we're talking. Let's see, silver. So yes, you can do that. I would have to, so what I would end up doing is converting his name into like a mock-up type of image so that I can drag like a silver image over the top of it and then change it so that it's reflected. It blends in with that, the name. And I usually, unfortunately, I don't have that option. I do that more so when I'm in like Photoshop or something, because it gives me that flexibility. The other thing is, let me see here, silver chrome hex. Let me see here. Silver chrome. Let me just see what it comes out to. So when I look for like, I look for like a hex, it's like a HEX. When I'm looking for colors, if it's a specific color that I'm looking for, I'll look up and Google what the hex number is, and then I'll try that and see if it allows me to change it to that particular color. So I'm gonna try this and see what I come up with. Chrome. It's like a silver chrome. Look, that's what I'm going for. Aluminum. Let me try something here. I think I like the other one better. But the look that I would end up going for, if I had more time to do that, would be I would just look for something like silver, and once I convert that over, I could change it to that. So I have done that, but I usually do that in what do you call it? Photoshop. The letters don't give you as much flexibility, but it's something that can be done for sure. It just will take a little bit more time to do it. So let me just see. Let me see. Is something missing here? What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, let me. Glowing sunbeam. Just see here. Silver sunbeam. Sunbeam. So this is a sunbeam. I'm looking for a certain look here. Change it to silver. See if I can change the angle a little bit. Just to kind of look like it's hovering over, the light is hovering over him. All right, I'm gonna play with it a little bit more, but that's kind of it's something I'm going for. I gotta kind of play around with it in my head. Once I finish it up all together, it's gonna be in a template anyway, so you'll be able to access it. But it's something else that I'm looking to add on to that. I just haven't quite put my fingers on it yet. But it literally, your logo would be here. This just kind of be the basic layout for for the obituary. The only thing we just need to add on, let me just see here. Let me try this. Where would I put this at? I'm moving down just a little bit because I want to include the well, I'll add it on. I'll add it on later. It's gonna be the sunrise, sunset, but I'm gonna maneuver him around a little bit. But just to kind of give you some idea as far as like the layout and design of the obituary. Again, it has more to do with the elements that you choose and how you layer and manipulate the items that the images onto your desired design. So it doesn't necessarily have to just be an obituary. This is any designs. If you want to create flyers, if you want to create some like the event, and I'll show this in the boot camp, like the event. So I'm going to show you how to make those stands for like the when you're having like a baby shower, like the stands where the backdrops, the wall, the floor designs. I'll have those templates available for you as well in the boot camp. So if you're able to register for that, again, that would be ideal because it'll include it'll be some AI training in there. So I'll train you how to create images in AI, how to create like voiceover videos in AI, how to create the backdrops, and the different party events layouts in AI. I mean, with Canva, and then also, what I want people to understand is, one, you definitely want to get focused in on how to get in front of your client base, and if you don't have a system to do that, you'll just be kind of scrambling. Because, like, for prime example, for all of the workshops that I do, all of the trainings and like the boot camps and things like that, when I have those, I have an automated system that allows me to get in the system, create it, and lay it out just like I needed to, and then it does the follow-ups for me. So prime example, when I created this course, once you register, if you, even if it was in your spam, it should have sent you an email right away, just saying welcome, giving you the Zoom call. So you want to get to the point where you have an automated system where you're reaching people even when you're not hands-on, because the worst thing to do is try to have to reach this person, follow up with this person. You need to be able to have a system that automatically allows you to get in front of the audience, the people that you want. Because then, like I said, at the end of the day, you want to be able to reach the max amount of people as far as like your client base is concerned. And without the hassle of, so much trying to reach this person, somebody you may not get in, and missing clients. You don't want to do that. So if you're able to, I'm trying to pull it up now, be able to access the boot camp, it's going to be for 6 days. And let me just quick pull this information up just so you have access to it. There we go. Free Canva boot camp, 6 days. So if you ever have like anything going on, it sends you the information out. It sends out the information to your clients, and you'll have to be chasing around and trying to keep up with it. It's just too hard to do that, especially with the way that things are now. You need to have a system in place that helps you to get in front of your audience of people that you need to, and then also positions you so you're more functional and proactive in getting in front of the right clients. Because like I said, it's one thing to create designs, but if you're not making the type of revenue that you want to, being in these groups is irrelevant. Creating designs is irrelevant, because if you're not generating revenue, then you're wasting a lot of time. So again, like I said, that I'll provide the replay for this class as well as the template. I want to tweak this thing just a little bit more because there's something on there that I want to do that I haven't quite found the element for it, but I'll make sure you have the replay for today. You'll also have the template as well as the information for the boot camp. Make sure that you're in, because I'm going to have other people on there doing training as well. but the main focus is going to be able to help you get into systems to help you reach the maximum amount of clients you want, and then also to create like in using AI. I literally, and I don't know, I know someone mentioned that they use ChatGPT. I literally within a matter of a few minutes created somebody's nonprofit organization. All they had to tell me was the name of the business and the basic information. I put it into ChatGPT. It created their articles of incorporation. It created their business vision. All of that, it did it all for me. And I'd have to, when I say maybe 30 minutes to put all of that together, I was able to do that. And guess what? Putting together somebody's nonprofit organization was $1,500. And it didn't take me but 30 minutes to create it. So you want to be in a space where you are literally making money. You don't want to, this is like, you don't want to just be, you know, I don't know, if it's a hobby, it's a hobby. That's fine. But if it's not, and that's where your source of income is, you want to position yourself so that you are actually making the kind of money that you need to. Also inside of the boot camp, I'll be showing you how to create your own virtual store. I have what's called a supplier vault, where you have access to all of these vendors. You can sell it on your store. If you're getting it at wholesale price, so you pay wholesale price and you're selling it. Like I used to get my AirPods and there's earbuds, and I would sell them at, like, I would get them for $9, $10, and you know how much they sell them for in the store. So you want to position yourself where you're actually making money. Like that's the whole thing for me. Anybody that I'm connected to, I want them to be able to generate revenue, because what's the point? So I'm going to be showing you how to be able to access the supplier list, the vault, showing you how to create different content using maximizing on ChatGPT as well, so that you can make generate revenue as well. So you want to have multiple streams of money coming in, because you want to be able to make this worth your while. Because I don't know about you, but I can't live off of $150. I can't I can't function off of a little 25, 65, 75 here and there. That is not, that forces you to still have to work. No, I'm not doing that. So if you're interested and get information about the boot camp, please put interested in the chat, so I'll know who I'll send the information to, and I'll make sure I get that information to you as well with the replay and the templates. But is there any questions that you have as it relates to the to this class today? No questions? Everybody good? Okay. Well, I'm going to send everybody the information about the work, the boot camp, and by tomorrow, usually by 12 o'clock, I will have already sent out the replay. So if for whatever reason you did not get by 12 o'clock, if you don't see it, you can politely get in my inbox. I will send it to you. Because I tried it. It was a few people. I don't know if I just didn't get the email or what happened, but definitely I'll get that sent out to you all to by tomorrow noon. And if there's any questions, then just say you want to have, I know someone mentioned they wanted a one-on-one. I'm more than glad to do that. We can get a scheduled one-on-one course of training set up, and I'll be more than glad to do that. Because again, I know how everybody, it's not a one-size-fit-all process for learning. So I totally completely get that, and I'd be more than glad to schedule some time. I just kind of make sure whatever I do, I schedule it around the time for my just kind of outside of my chemo treatment. So but I'm looking forward to seeing all of your artwork. I say your homework for today, or not for today, for this week, I'll say for this week, is to spend time not designing, spend time focusing on what your goals are going to be. What kind of revenue are you trying to generate? How often do you want to generate that? Because that determines how you structure your systems, structure how often you're in front of clients. You want to focus on that part first, understand what your goals are going to be for your business. And then we'll talk about how we want to take what you're doing and take that and maximize, take the whatever work you decide you want to do, and then re-maximize, so that we can make sure that if you're looking at $100, $200, $300 a day, we need to make sure we know what that needs to look like. If you're looking at making $2,000-3,000 a month. We need to see know what that is, so we can make sure that, hey, I can do X amount of this, and this is what this is going to come out to. So just kind of having a goal in mind of what you're going to do in order to get to that point. So with that being said, if there's no other questions, I try to stay as close to 9 as possible. If you guys don't have any more questions,
I do. When is your master class?
So the boot camp is not going to be this weekend. I wanted to do that, but I have chemotherapy on Tuesday, so I don't want to not be my best. So I will send out the boot camp information. I'll send that in the email as well, but it'll be that following week, and it'll be for 6 days. And if you, for whatever reason, are not able to attend one of the days, you're still going to get the replay for just say whatever day you missed, you're going to get the replay for the entire boot camp. So if you miss out on anything, just say there's a day.
Look like I'm gonna have to go buy me a computer.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because on Friday, like I try to, it's the phone, I design sometimes on my tablet and my phone. I can get it done, but the quality of it is different. So I strongly recommend you using, because I want people to work along with me, so that while I'm working, you're kind of getting an idea of what you need to be doing step by step. But again, the replay is always available to you, so you can definitely utilize that. But again, if you could definitely get on a computer, that's it. That's the thing to do. But if there aren't any questions, again, I'll send out the emails to you guys no later than tomorrow at noon. Hopefully I will get to see you guys in the boot camp as well, because I have so many templates. Like, I'm not even kidding you, that I'm going to make sure everybody has access to, as well as coming up working with you guys as far as systems to make sure that you're in front of people and making the replay. It's usually for 48 hours, but what I will do, because I'm not going to send it out until tomorrow, I'll just kind of have it set until what's tomorrow? Thursday. Yeah, I have it set through this week till the weekend. So you don't have to try to rush, and I'll send it to you so you can use it through the weekend. Any more questions?
I'm gonna text you.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Definitely. And then just to give you guys a heads up for the boot camp, for the VIP and for the Lord Jesus, the designers suite, for the ones that have been inside the workshops this week, it's going to be a percentage off. Everybody don't get that same percentage, just the ones that's been in my workshop. But I'll make sure I include that code when I send it to you guys. All righty, I think that's it for today. Anybody else need a logo? Are we good? Okay, well, my 4 minutes is about up. But shoot me a text, send me a DM if you need to. I'm not going to be, other than posting in some of these groups, I'm not going to, because I don't want them to kick me out the group. So anything as it relates to a class, please just send me a message on Messenger. I'll like or make a comment, but I'm not going to solicit or do anything. And usually what I'll do is send a message in Messenger and keep it going from there, because I don't want them to put me out these groups, because I definitely want to. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I definitely want to be able to stay in the groups too. So I look forward to connecting with you guys. If you guys can join in on Friday, that'd be amazing. But I will definitely have the replay and everything, including the templates, send out to you guys tomorrow. But I appreciate you all. Have a great night. Focus on your goals, but if you don't have goals already, start working on them, because we want to be intentional about making money. If you ain't doing this to make no money, I don't know what we're doing. So let's be intentional. And then send me, actually, because I want to hold you guys accountable, I want you to send me, when I send you your email with the replays, I want you to reply back and give me what your goals are, because my goal is to help you reach them. At the end of the day, it's to create, but I want to help everybody ultimately reach the goal that they're looking for when it comes down to design, because we're not doing this for nothing. I know I'm not. So with that being said, you all have an amazing night. Reach out to me if you have any questions, but focus on your goals for this week. All right.
All right. Good night.
All right. You all have a good one.
You too.